Hola, 안녕하세요, konnichiwa, or konbanwa, actually. Hey guys, I know it's been a while, and well overdue for an update here on this mobile phone video blog thing we've been going here. Give you guys an update. My new weapon of choice here is a Xperia Z1 purple, and yes, I did put a black aluminum frame on that. You can get those from Alibaba, or AliExpress is a pretty good one. Anyway, as you guys know, this phone is not available for sale in Korea unless you get it from Gmarket, which is actually an import. So this is more for people in Korea and a little bit of Japan about bringing off-network phones from third-party sources onto networks. So here we go. As you guys know, I have a strong preference for U+, LG U+ here in Korea. I actually, around here, just one second, about that, I actually have a Xperia Tablet Z as well. These are both really small, and I like them both. The battery life is amazing on them. So the camera on this is absolutely incredible, and actually for a tablet this is pretty good too. So yeah, LG U+, that's what I'm running this one on. It's a package I actually signed up for on Gmarket. It's 3 gigs a month. It's about $9 US, about 9,000 won, or 900 yen. The exchange rate is pretty great right now. Everything's about the same. This is a data-only device, so all you have to do is pop your U+ LTE SIM card in it and put in your APN, which you guys can get off the web or message me. I'll put that on there, or I'll even throw it in the description. But as some of you IT guys might know, the U+ network has 3G, but it's CDMA, which is not very open. You're going to have, basically you need proprietary hardware to make that work. As where KT and SK have a 3G system, which is open, which is what their voice calls are done on. So in order to do voice calling on U+, you need special software on a proprietary device. So if you're just doing data, like on said tablet, U+ is great. And for a variety of reasons, I honestly do think they, well, do your research. All 3 LTE-A networks have the same theoretical 150 megabit download speed, and in perfect conditions you might get about 100 of that. But when it comes to upload speeds, SK and KT are actually limited to about 25 megabits upload, as where U+ can actually push up to 50. I'm going to spare everybody the technical details behind that, but basically for sending data, U+ does have the edge, as where SK and KT are kind of limited. But again, for a phone, it doesn't really matter because you need to make voice calls. This phone will switch over and do voice calls, normal calling via 3G network, which limits me to KT or SK. Now, I've heard the stories and everybody tells me hands down SK is the best. They have signal everywhere. You know, you could go to the dark side of the moon and they probably have signal. I live in central Gangnam. I'm on a 4th floor of a villa building. Clear line of sight to pretty much everything. And I will say SK signal in my particular area is not very good. On top of that, a location I was doing some part-time work here last week, filling in for some of my friends. They had 0 signal inside, and not too far from Jamsil. So yeah, needless to say, SK was kind of a disappointment, and their data speeds were okay. Maybe 50 to 60 megabits down on an LTE-A network, and yes, this phone is capable of LTE-A speeds. The tablet is not. It's just normal LTE. And various other things. As you guys know, you can get free Wi-Fi service on subways and buses and stuff with SK and OLE. Or KT OLE. So upon getting SK service, I immediately found out that SK does not offer this Wi-Fi service to off-network phones. On top of that, you can't even register your account to check your minutes and billing and that sort of thing unless you get a secret confirmation code that is only receivable on an SK branded handset. Luckily I had a friend who had one, so I put my SIM card in his, registered the account, and I was okay. And their customer service does speak pretty good English. They're open from 9 to 7. However, the big issue I have with them, and this is not their fault directly, they're useless. They can't do anything. I said, hey, I want to register my SIM card in my phone on the network to use this LTE service, and they refuse to accept that phones outside of Korea can do LTE. And I'm sitting here explaining to them it's more than capable. Please give it to me, and they don't have the information. Just go to a T-World store. Just go to a T-World store. Okay, so I ended up doing a Naver search, down search, and found the information I needed. Had no problem. Within 5 minutes, it was good. But I wanted to try their customer service out to see how it worked. So yeah, if long story short, with SK, if all you're going to be doing is just internet and just calling and you never want to talk to these people again, yeah, SK is pretty good. However, with KT OLE, which in my opinion up until recently had pretty much the weakest LTE and LTE-A network, they have now launched this new version LTE-A, which is very quickly expanding across the nation. And the speeds are quite good. I've actually gotten in some areas near Gangnam and stuff where it's gotten 70 to 80 megabits down and get about 20 to 21 up. So I mean, that's pretty decent speed for a phone, I mean, if you think about it. The prices are good. If you do a 2-year contract, you can get an LTE sponsorship, 2.5 gigs with 250 minutes is about $40 a month, or 40,000 won, and it drops down $10 if you drop down to 1.5 gigs, and it goes up $10 if you want to go up to 5 gigs, and I think that might even throw in some unlimited calling options. I don't really talk to that many people on a phone anymore, so I don't really care about the minutes. Needless to say, their customer service with OLE has been amazing. They have the KT Expat blog. It's basically a mini website of what the real OLE website is, and it has everything, every price plan, every option, all these questions and answers in English. Not to mention Japanese and Vietnamese, and I think Chinese as well. Maybe some Russian. I can't really remember, but it's a great option. Their customer service is very friendly. I went in there kind of with low expectations. Said, hey, listen, I've got an off-network phone. I need to get T-Money service working on it, and I need to get the Wi-Fi accessible so I can use it on subways and that sort of thing. Because I'm not driving my motorcycle in the winter. It's way too cold for that. And icy. And yeah, to my amazement, they were, yeah, no, that's not a problem. They didn't have to ask managers or check for anything. They immediately knew what to do, and they basically said, what we need is you to take a screen capture of the MAC address of your phone, email it to this address, we'll add it to the whitelist, and you'll have access to the Wi-Fi anywhere in the nation. And within 4 or 5 minutes, I got a text message back from them that says, your service has been activated, no problems. As for T-Money, I'm still having a couple of issues getting that to work. I actually need to contact the customer service for T-Money. I don't really care. I don't use the subways that much. Like I said, I usually drive or something. But yeah, and I'm also might be relocating to Daejeon, which would be great. And Daejeon does not use T-Money, so I really am not overly concerned about it. So yeah, so that's that. Basically, if you're going to bring an off-network phone, Ole is definitely your easiest choice, and they've got some pretty good options. Now, the last thing I'm going to mention to you, Hello Mobile. These guys are new, or you can Google search them, CJ Hello Mobile. These guys are a MVNO, which is a mobile virtual network operator, basically a reseller of KT service. They have a no contract 5 gig and 2.5 gig, 1.5 gig plan, and they are incredibly cheap. There's no frills in this. You have no Wi-Fi access points. You have pretty normal calling minutes, about 180 to 250 minutes depending on price plan. But it's great. You sign up, you get a SIM card, it's a minimal activation fee, and from that you pay about $30 a month for a 5 gig plan. Maybe even 6 gigs. I don't recall off the top of my head, I apologize. But regardless, that's a ton of LTE data for that speed. Now, and you're probably wondering, why did you not go with this option, James? Because after speaking with 3 or 4 different Hello Mobile sellers, and despite having a pretty good English website, I found out they do not accept foreigners. And I'm not on an E2, I am not an English teacher. I am here on an F6 visa, which is, I'm married to a Korean national. And because of this, it's still not allowed. So that's that problem. So if you have a Korean friend or wife or husband that wants to sign that for you, you can definitely do that. So, but I'm kind of weird. I like to have things in my own name. So, and lack of an English help service is kind of good. But yes, I am studying my Korean as quickly as I can. And for those of you that don't know, I do speak Japanese as well. So please, no comments about, oh, you just need to learn the language. I know I need to learn the language. I'm working on it. So patience, please. I appreciate it. For my friends in Japan, there's a bunch of different options. If you want to cheat the system, the short way to do it is get SoftBank, get an iPhone from them, because iPhone plans are subsidized, meaning your data is going to be about $10 cheaper per month. And with that, you can then pop your SIM card into a different phone. They do not ban phones based on the IMEI number, and use the exact APN settings. Google search it, you can find them, for iPhone on SoftBank. Put those into your Android. You'll have full internet access. You'll have all of this. You'll have no overages. You'll be golden. It's a great way to go. Now, some people are saying that it does limit you to 3G, so there's that. Your other option, though, of course, is my personal favorite and unfortunately the most expensive, NTT Docomo. With these guys, you can actually do the Mopra Crossy, which is the LTE version of Docomo. They have a 3 gig and a 7 gig limit, and with that, you can bring your phone in. You type in the settings there. Tell them for your ISP, yes, you have to choose an internet service provider. Even though Docomo is your service for your phone, there's still you can still in Japan choose an ISP, and there's typically 3 in their catalog. Choose Mopra, or Mopra U. That basically it's a different service provider. You don't have SP mail anymore or anything like that, but who really cares anyway. But with that, Mopra does not block IMEIs, so you get the full 7 gigs of internet. There's no difference in speed or anything between Docomo's own ISP and Mopra, and it's just great. Just roll with it. It's wonderful. So yeah, that is all within the last couple of years. 3-4 years ago, if anyone tells you it's impossible to bring phones to Japan, they're pretty much right. 4 years ago, that's pretty dead on. A lot of staff in many stores in Korea and Japan are very, how should I say this politely? unskilled, and their knowledge is quite limited to what to do with something that is not out of the box from the factory designed for their network. In Tokyo, there is the Docomo Smartphone Cafe. Go there. Or most any shop in the Akihabara area where it's all the IT guys, that's also a pretty good place to go and get accurate information. The small stores, mom and pop cell phone stores out in Yamagashi-ken are not going to do it. And same thing goes here for Korea. If you are in any of the major cities, look for a global Ole global store. Again, KT Expat blog has all the locations. They are going to be familiar with, or at least have some information on who to contact to do additional settings, but they are much more experienced. As where I went to many SK stores and even U Plus stores, I gotta say, and they're just, oh, it's impossible, it's impossible. Like this tablet, for example, I was at a U Plus corporate store and they were almost to the point getting angry with me that I was not accepting the fact that a LTE SIM from U Plus will work in this. And, oh, it's impossible, it's impossible. And so I ended up finally convincing them to give me a SIM card temporarily, inserted it in here, put in the APN settings, and then turned off Wi-Fi and immediately showed them speed test and full web access. They were absolutely dumbfounded. They had no idea how wrong they were. And then they got into the mood of, oh my god, he's right. Oh my god, this tablet is so cool. Holy crap, we have all these other options that are not just a Galaxy Note tablet. Oh, not saying the Galaxy Note tablet's not a great tablet. It is. But let's face it, there's more in the tablet world than just the Galaxy Note. Okay, last thing I'm going to say for taxes and imports. In Japan, anything you import into the country, typically going to be coming from Hong Kong if you're using Expansys, you are going to get it immediately delivered to you, and then 3 or 4 days later they're going to send you a letter in the mail with any taxes owed. Take that letter to any convenience store, they'll ring it up and you can pay the taxes. Usually, again, I usually use Expansys.com. No, they're not promoting this, but they usually get good prices from me. They will usually give you an estimate how much the tax is before you buy it. Same thing with like Gmarket and stuff. When you buy on Gmarket, a lot of these taxes are included in the price, and Expansys.com, again, shipping to Korea, will show you what the import tax is. A word of warning for foreigners in Korea buying internationally. When you buy anything international, even if it's from Expansys, tell them your name and your citizen ID number or alien registration number, and have them write that on the receipt or outside of the box. When you bring something into the country that's over $150, it needs to be registered and declared. And regardless if they've already prepaid it, it doesn't matter. They will hold that until they get in contact with you, and then you have to fax all these documents. So have them do that. Even if you do that, they are probably still going to hold it, because the system they have that inputs the name and then the person's citizen number and then allows it to clear through customs is designed for Koreans. For some reason, it has issues accepting foreign numbers. In my case, I did everything correctly, as I've bought 3 or 4 items from these guys, and they still stopped it. So I called them the next day, having to wait all weekend, and they said, oh yes, everything's correct, we just want to verify, yes, that's me, yes, that's my number. And they're like, oh, okay, well, just so you know, our system doesn't accept foreign numbers, and so therefore we're just going to go ahead and pass it through. And they were very nice, and they got it delivered to me the next morning. So yeah, just if you have a Korean friend and you're buying something internationally, do yourself a favor, give them cash and have them buy it for you in their name, and it will not get held up in customs. It's a Korean thing, and let's face it, Korea, as advanced as they are, they love to run everything off of 10-year-old systems. I mean, Windows XP on subways, come on, XP, seriously. God, I was a freshman in high school when that crap was coming out. Anyway, yeah, just do that. Save yourself a world of hurt and just waiting 2 to 3 days more, because you're gonna have to sit here and call with these people, and do that. Japan, no problem. They have a great system, really genius, really, on the honor system. And yeah, like I said, they'll send it to you, then you have to pay the bill a couple days later. Korea, they don't trust you, and they're gonna hold that until they get in confirmation that you are who you are, and that, yeah, that you basically say, hi, please send it, and then they send it. So yeah, that's that. If you guys have any further questions about unlocked phones or support, comments, questions, concerns, what else am I going to say here? Weird situations in Japan or Korea, something that's just driving you nuts and you want some advice on it, in the comments, message me, whatever you need. I'm more than happy to help. And the last little tidbit here, I got another request for updated prepaid options here in Korea. As you saw from my other video, everything's pretty much the same. K-Books at Incheon Airport has prepaid SIM cards you can get. sroaming.com, or sroaming, in general, you can just Google search it. That's sroaming. Has prepaid SIM cards you can buy. If you're just going to stay for a few days and you really don't want to spend 60-70 bucks on a card, then you can actually, my personal recommendation is you can get a U+ Wi-Fi, which is a little adapter Wi-Fi module like this. And this is basically a unlimited service. You can show up, you need no reservation, just show up at any major airport is going to have these, or the GS Tower location in Central Seoul. And you can rent these. They're about $5 to $8 a day, depending on what kind of sale they got going. If you do it for more than a week, they're even bigger discount. And these are unlimited LTE data anywhere in the country. A lot of the other guys like KT and SK have similar services using WiBro, which is slower and its coverage is much more limited. LTE-wise, U+ has got amazing coverage, amazing speeds, and for $5 a day, unlimited. You and your friends can share it. It's a great way to go. As for Japan, Amazon.com still has some options. E-Mobile, of course, still has some options. Google search all of these. E-Mobile is available in Akihabara, at Yodobashi Camera, and online. And then also UQ WiMax, which is another Japanese company that offers WiMax. They have WiMax ones like this. And with these you can, sometimes there's people at Narita Airport and Kansai Airport in Osaka that have rental programs for this as well. The other option you can do if you are having issues getting these, you can buy this service even on a tourist visa in Japan. All you need is a credit card. You can buy the device. It's about $100. It's unlimited data, and realistically you're going to get about 10 to 20 megabits download and 5 to 10 megabits upload. Its service area is pretty good coverage, and like I said, to buy the device, in just the device alone, maybe 50 to 100 bucks, and then a month's service is about $40. So that might be another option for you. And also, let's face it, with those speeds you really don't need to pay for a home internet service either. So just throwing it out there. But yeah, I think that's it. So again, if you guys have any other questions or weird things, whatever, in the comments or message me. Have a great night. I will see you later. And isn't this music just awesome? I got new speakers, so I'm loving the bass. It's great. Anyway, thanks guys. Thank you very much for everybody that's left comments. Thank you everybody that's keeping up with all my random posts, and it's really cool to see the following kind of increase. Take care. Have a good night.